Bear and friends were really missing their weekly sports sessions at their local leisure centre. They loved taking part in all the different activities, like bocce, dodgeball and trampolining, but most of all they missed seeing the lovely people they had met, especially the enthusiastic coaches and lovely, kind health professionals. "I've got an idea," exclaimed Bert suddenly, as he looked up from his computer where he'd been checking his Facebook page. "We can do the 10-sock challenge." "Ooh, what's that?" asked Mui. "It sounds fun." "Well, it's a game where we all have to see how many socks we can throw into a basket. Look, here's Sophie from Sport for Confidence having a go. She managed to score 6, replied Bert, showing his friends the video he had found. "Great idea, Bert," shouted Christopher. "I'll go and ask Jane to get us some socks and a bin, then we can all play." As Christopher ran off to find Jane, the others made their way to the lounge where they decided that they would play. Digger was feeling a bit tired and shy today, so he decided that he would keep score for everyone. He remembered the whiteboard that Jane had brought to do her work, and he thought that would be ideal for writing down everyone's scores. "I'm so excited!" shrieked Christy, jumping up and down. "Whoa, careful, Christy," said Chris. "You nearly knocked me down the steps. I don't want to get injured before we start the game." Just then, Christopher appeared with a bin and all the socks they needed for the game. He dropped the socks at the top of the steps and then put the bin down at the bottom. "We each have 10 goes, and the aim is to see how many socks we can throw into the bin," explained Christopher. "Whoever gets the most socks in the bin is the winner." "Yippee!" sang Mui. "Can I go first?" "OK, here you go," said Christopher as he handed her the first pair of socks. "Digger, get ready to count." And Mui started to throw. Her first throw went sailing past the bin. Her second throw just missed, but then her third throw landed right in the middle of the bin. "Great shot, Mui," chorused the friends. At the end of her go, Mui had managed to score 5, so Digger wrote a big 5 by her name on the board. Next up was Chris, and he was concentrating really hard as he started to throw. He took his time and aimed very carefully. "I think you've played this before, Chris," said Christopher, as Chris managed to score a brilliant 8 out of 10. Digger added Chris's score to the board. "Your turn now, Bert," said Digger, as he saw that Bert's name was next on the list. So Bert had his turn and giggled to himself as he only managed to get 3 socks in the bin. "I think I need a bit more practice," he laughed, but it was good fun. "Who's next, Digger?" It's your go now, Bear," said Digger slowly as he read his list. Bear sat at the top of the step and waited whilst Christopher collected all the socks that Bert had managed to throw everywhere. "There's one behind the sofa," called Mui. "How on earth did you manage to throw it there, Bert?" "No idea," grinned Bert. Bear threw his 10 socks and Christopher counted that he had scored 7. "You're in second place so far, Bear," called Christopher. "Well done." "Is it my go now, Digger?" "Yes," replied Digger. "You next, then last up is Christy." So Christopher had his go and scored 5. "That's the same as me!" yelled an increasingly excited Mui. Finally, it was Christy's turn. Her twin brother Chris was still in the lead, and she really wanted to beat him. Christy sat at the top of the steps and slowly aimed her first sock. Plop! It landed right in the middle of the bin. "Wow, great shot, Christy," grasped Bear. Christy smiled and calmly picked up her second pair of socks. And plop! That also landed right in the middle of the bin. Feeling confident, Christy threw her third, fourth, fifth and sixth socks, and every one of them sailed right into the bin. "You're so good at this," exclaimed Digger. Christy didn't say anything. She just picked up her next sock and again threw it into the bin. "That's 7 out of 7, yelled Mui. Christy grinned and looked at Chris, who was still just in the lead. He smiled at his sister and said, "Go on, Christy, you can do this." He did secretly want to win, but was so proud of his sister and her throwing. So Christy picked up the last 3 pairs of socks and slowly and surely aimed each throw at the bin. And guess what? Yes, you got it. Every single sock flew right into the middle of the bin. "Woohoo!" yelled Chris and Bert in unison. "That was amazing, Christy," cried Bear. 10 out of 10! Christy, you are officially our winner, announced Digger as he consulted his school board. Well done, everybody. It was great fun watching you all. The friends all agreed that the 10-sock challenge was a great game. Can we play again next week? Asked Chris. I want to try and beat Christy next time. Absolutely, said Christopher as he and his friends sat down at the top of the steps, all happily thinking about what a fun morning it had been. The end.